Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Drive-Thru. I'm your host, Tony T. As we broadcast live here on Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place YouTube channel and throughout social media. We'll get you out here well before the top of the hour, give you guys enough time to make those bets for the primetime games. And that's what we do here in the Drive-Thru, Monday through Friday at 6 p.m. Eastern Time. Is our live free sports picks for the games beginning at 7 p.m. Eastern Time and later. And to deliver those winners are professional handicappers over at Pick Dogs and at Sports Chat Place. Let's take a peek at who's on the show with us here for today. All right, with us today is Ninos, Big Al McMordie. We got Rod Zawacky, Chris Ruffolo, and it's Wednesdays with Mitch. Mitch joins us here today, and here's how they will line up for this evening here. We got Ruffolo, McMordie, Ninos, Zawacky, Mitch, and then I will close this one out. All right, day baseball. Hope you guys having winners out there. We just saw the Astros go down again, 4-2 Oakland as that one's finished. We do have 5-4 White Sox in the top of the eighth, and Dodgers up 7-1 top of the ninth. Runner on here for the Nationals, no outs with David Price on the hill looking to close it out and preserve the run line, or maybe an alternate run line for those who had the Dodgers today. All right, let's get this show underway. Let's go ahead and welcome in Chris Ruffolo. If I'm over at Pick Dogs, he does the morning shows every day at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. Let's bring in Chris right now. I think we can find Chris. I got to get used to having Chris on the show again. There we go. Got to find the buttons again. Chris, what's happening?
Tony, it's almost like you didn't even miss me, man. You're forgetting that I'm not even here. But no, it's good to be back. And the one game that you left off there was that Diamondbacks game. Now 5-2, making us under bettors at 8. Kind of sweat a little bit here, but we still got the whole evening slate of action as well.
Yeah, so leaving slate, we'll have that many of those games for you here on the show, including this one here at 7 Eastern Time as a team that's near and dear to Chris, the Blue Jays, right? The hot right now Blue Jays here hosting the Cardinals. The Blue Jays minus 255, total of 8.
Yeah, Tony, this minus 255 price tag with Kevin Gausman, really hard to stomach. We've seen the Blue Jays fall as heavy favorites. They came through last night. But let's not forget, this was a Blue Jays team that fell to the Kansas City Royals as minus 450 favorites when the Royals were missing 10 guys out of their roster. So it makes this price kind of hard to stomach, like I said. But what I am looking at here is the over 8, and that's mainly because Adam Wainwright, he's having a solid age 40 season, but the reality is you look at his last 4 road starts, a 7.77 ERA. He's been far less effective on the road on the whole this season with a 4.81 ERA. And, even if you take out the 28-run anomaly in their first game back against the Red Sox, the Blue Jays have still scored 22 runs in their last 3 games. So, they're seeing the ball fairly well. They're hitting the ball really well right now. But I also don't expect the Cardinals to go down quietly here. Adam Wainwright, he has a solid offense behind him with guys like Dylan Carlson. We mentioned Albert Pujols, Tyler O'Neill still there as well. These are guys that are one of the more underrated I shouldn't say underrated, but less talked about lineups in the National League. And I still think they're going to get a few off of Kevin Gausman here, but I think this is a game that's hitting 9, 10, maybe even 11 runs. I'm going to go with the over once again in this one.
All right, Chris likes the over here. Blue Jays and Cardinals over 8. But we do see a low total here with the way the Blue Jays have been hitting. And, of course, the Adam Wainwright, not really good splits here on the road. Of course, the Blue Jays pushed across 10 runs. Palant looked a little shaky there. He looked. And now I say shaky, he looked like he was shaking on the mound in that first inning, just hoping to get out of there unscathed. But, man, he gave up a lot. Of course, as we know, the Blue Jays past 10 games hitting 384 against right-handers, 282 against the lefties. And they are getting some pretty good bullpen work over their past 10 games. And, of course, the Cardinals been imploding a bit here over the past 10 with the ERA over 6. The one interesting note here with Gausman, boy, he's really dominated this expected lineup here. As Cardinals expected lineup hit only 156 against Gausman, no home runs, only 1 RBI, and 64 at-bats.
Yeah, and a lot of that has to do with just, I think, Gausman's splitter, which has really taken center stage for a lot of his performances this season. It's been his money pitch, and it's been a pitch that, like you said, Tony, Cardinal batters have struggled to get to. But, I also mentioned the Toronto Blue Jays offense, and, not to go back off of the Cardinals here, but they look like a completely different team under John Schneider than what they were under Charlie Montoyo when Montoyo had this team really struggling. And, I go back to it again. I've said it before. I'm happy with the firing. I like John Schneider as the bench boss, and you're starting to see it pay dividends, especially at the plate.
All right, we got Chris here at Blue Jays, Cardinals over a total of 8 runs. This one will have a start time here of 7 p.m. Eastern Time. All right, Chris, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs, where you put up some great numbers. Look at these numbers over the last 30 days here. 1,876 units of profit, pretty sure that's all baseball because the NBA was over by by June 28th. The really good football season, we're bringing that up now because football is in the air as teams are getting into training camp. We have Christmas in July with some really good long-term passes up there. So 1,800 units of profit last 3 days. Still 5 games here left to go here. We got 340 start, 640 start as well. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs Premium?
Well, Tony, I had all my packages go off the board earlier today, but I still have a couple of plays that we're going to be cutting it close with. So if you want those, hop on something long-term because Christmas in July is still going on. I've got my 3-day reduced, my week, as well as my year, and also the rest of baseball, the second half of the season, plus playoffs up until the final out of the World Series for $2.99. And some of your best value long-term, or check out the 2-for-1 capper deal. It's a great price as it is. You get 2 hardworking cappers for one great price. Pair us up. We'll make you some money. You just got to go over to Pick Dogs Premium and check it out.
That's right, guys. Get over with Chris Ruffolo over at Pick Dogs Premium. See the numbers, 1,876 units of profit last 30 days. Get on board with Chris. The long-term pass is the way to go. He has a Christmas in July. He has reduced his long-term passes, the week pass, $89, as well as the monthly pass down to $299. But your best value here is get on board here with Chris's 1-year all sports pass, reduced here to $9.99. All of Chris's premium plays here. We include also the postseason, preseason NFL. If he's in action here, you get all the major sports that he's involved with: NFL, NBA, NHL. We got baseball, college football, and college basketball. Yours premium plays when you get on board with Chris's 1-year all sports pass. Christmas July reduced to $9.99. That's a pretty good value there, Chris, when you do the math here per month.
Yeah, I know we talked about it on the morning show. It's about an average of $2.73 a day. Tony, as well as I said, when you have those big, heavy volume days, those make those plays like pennies per pick. So definitely the best value is going long term, especially all the way up to a year, like you said.
Yeah, 1-year all sports pass right now. Take advantage of it right now with these savings here. Christmas in July over at Pick Dogs Premium, so get signed up. All right, Chris, as always, great having your show. Continue that success. We'll talk with you next week. But I know you contribute a lot to Pick Dogs. We catch on the mornings at 10 a.m. Eastern Time. And you also contribute to about doing half the board now with the free picks in baseball with Mitch.
Yeah, I enjoy doing those videos, giving out lots of free pick winners. We have the videos for tomorrow's games coming up fairly soon. Got afternoon baseball again tomorrow. So, guys, check those videos out. Get your action early, and we'll put some money in your pockets.
That's right, guys. Check it out. Of course, we tell you to like, subscribe, set notifications. So when Chris's videos drop, and he drops a lot of them, you can be notified and get on board with them. Make sure you get the best numbers when you get the videos right when they're uploaded there. All right, Chris, have a great evening. We'll talk next week.
Sounds good, Tony. Thanks.
You got Chris Ruffolo here on The Drive. Let's continue our coverage, guys. Let's go ahead and bring him in. Big Al McMordie. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium, having another great 2022 after being the top unit producer in 2021 last year. Big Al, you'll find him over at Pick Dogs. Does great work there. We'll have a baseball game for us tonight. So let's bring in Big Al McMordie right now. Big Al, how's it going?
Going well. How are you doing today, Tom?
Doing great. All right, here we go, 7 Eastern time with the Red Sox not playing an AL East team. They're at home here to face the Guardians here with the Red Sox minus 130, total 8.5.
Yeah, it's a pitching matchup today that features Nate Eovaldi and Cal Quantrill. And last time we saw Eovaldi, we didn't see much of him as he only lasted 2 2/3 innings. Gave up 9 runs in that destruction at the hands of the Toronto Blue Jays, 28-5 last Friday. So, I'm sure he wants to wipe the stink off that game, and I have a feeling he will. In fact, Boston had actually won his 5 previous starts going into that nightmarish outing. So that's one reason why I like him to bounce back today. Another is that Eovaldi has this dichotomy. When his teams are favored, he's done quite well in his career, 68-39 plus 11.2 net games. When he's an underdog, he's done quite poorly, 42-72 minus 15.4 net games. And of course, today they're favored $1.30. So that bodes well for Boston here. Cal Quantrill's made 3 starts in his career versus the Bo Sox, 0-1, but his teams are 0-3, so that's another reason to take the Red Sox in this game. And then, he hasn't faced them yet this year, but last season the Red Sox won both of his starts versus the Guardians. So I'm going to lay the $1.30 with Boston. Look for Eovaldi to have a much, much better outing tonight than he did last Friday.
All right, we have Big Al here taking the Red Sox here, minus 130 here against the Cleveland Guardians. Of course, this Red Sox team is one that's been kind of up and down. When they get out of that East Division play, it's been rough. And those teams are tough in the East. All right, I mean, you look at facing the Yankees, of course, the Orioles, who are improved. The Rays are always tough. The Blue Jays, that's really a murderer's row there in that division to get them out of the division to play a little better here. Of course, the bats here got to pick up a little bit, Big Al, and of course the bullpen for Cleveland has been all right. But you always say that the bullpen's really pretty much in question because you really don't know who they bring out of the pen, right?
Well, that's my attitude. I mean, everyone's got a different perspective on that. A lot of people like to play the first 5 innings and totally remove, the bullpens and the uncertainty. I've never really done much with the first 5 innings. I usually just play the full game. But yeah, I mean, Boston's bullpen has been a nightmare. But this is just really a good spot, I think, for Eovaldi.
I could just imagine having a database and having to track all these first 5 innings, these nerfies, these yerfies. A lot of work.
A lot of work.
Yeah, a lot of work. All right, we got Al here on the Red Sox, minus 130 here against the Guardians. This one to have a start time here is 7 p.m. Eastern time. All right, Big Al, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium, showing great work here for 2022. 3,406 units of profit, all documented. We still have 5 games here on the board here for Major League Baseball with the game starting here in 20 minutes. What do you have going on over at the site?
Believe it or not, nothing. I had my National League game of the month earlier today on the Dodgers, minus 1.5 runs at minus $1. I think it was 35 or so, and then I lost on the Astros. So we were 1-1 today in baseball. But of course, the best thing to do is to jump on board. There's only 4 days left, or 5 days left, including today, for the Christmas in July. Just $9.95 gets you 1 year of all of my selections: football, basketball, baseball, and hockey, and even some horse racing. So folks can go to Pick Dogs and hop on board for that special deal right now.
That's right, guys. I get on board with Big Al McMordie. He was a top unit producer over at Pick Dogs last year. This year, putting up great numbers again. 3,406 units of profit. It's all documented. You can verify that by going over to Big Al's handicapper page over at Pick Dogs. Go down to Pick History. You can see every play, all the wins, all the losses, all the pushes are graded there for you to see over at Pick Dogs Premium there. So get on board with Big Al. Christmas in July. The best value right here is getting Big Al's 1 year all sports pass. He has cut that price in half down to $9.95. I mean, we talked about $2.73 a day, right? For that $9.99 price point, $9.95 price point there. So great value there with Big Al's 1 year all sports pass. Of course, he is in action here with all the major sports as well as postseason. Playoff action is covered as well. Big Al, if you're in action in preseason football, that'll be covered. Are you in action in preseason football?
Yeah, I dip my toes in the water in the second week for the most part. May or may not play the third week since it's now the final week. I generally don't like playing the final week of a preseason, but for sure I'll play the second week, and I'll for sure pass the first week.
Past the first week. No, I will keep an eye there with Big Al in week 2 of the preseason. Again, that 1 year all sports pass is your best value right now over at Pick Dogs. He's taken half off the regular price. And you see the numbers he's produced here the past 2 seasons over at Pick Dogs. Great numbers there. And of course, Big Al, your football records, looking here, how well you've performed. You've been documented your entire career in handicapping.
Yeah. I mean, this is my 31st year in the business. I've won 23 out of the last 30 years in NFL and college football combined. Also, coincidentally, 23 out of 30 years in NBA and college basketball combined. I've won the last 10 years in a row in NFL alone. Last year, we actually had a better year in college football than the NFL, but they both were profitable. And I look to do it again this year.
That's right. Get on board with Big Al. Get that 1 year all sports pass. A really good value right now, $9.95, half off regular price. All right, Big Al, it's always great having you on the show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
Thanks, Tony. Be back tomorrow.
You got it. Big Al McMordie here on the Drive to. Let's continue our coverage. Guys, get people signed in right now. If you missed any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap here at the end of the show. Let's continue on here on the Drive to. It is time to welcome in El Ninos. You'll find him over at Pick Dogs Premium, where he does great work up there. Let's bring in El Ninos right now. I think we're ready to roll with El. He'll be coming on Skype. El, what's happening?
Going okay. How are you, Tony?
Doing great. All right, here we go, 7 Eastern time. The high-profile game here of the evening features the Mets here to host the Yankees with New York now at minus 170, total 7.5. New York Mets, that is, minus 170.
Yeah, it should be another interesting game after the Mets managed to pull the upset off yesterday. I mean, it was a pretty close line. I'd call it an upset. I'm not sure why I call it an upset. But they got the job done at home yesterday, and well, they have an even bigger advantage on the mound today, at least for the starting, as far as the starting pitchers are concerned here, with Max Scherzer getting the start. Of course, one of the best starters this season and all the way back since 2013. While on the other side, you got Domingo Germán getting the start for the Yankees. And, well, it's been a rough season for him, and the little bit we've seen him so far. Just one outing here, but 3 innings, gave up 5 runs to the Astros, and well, he's facing a pretty good Mets team here. Just when you got the Yankees ranked #1, favorites to win the World Series and all that, you got to have the Mets remind them that it's not going to be that easy. And I think they might get another reminder of that just with Scherzer getting the start here, and of course DeGrom should be coming back anytime soon now too for the Mets. So it's going to be a tough road here for the Yankees and a lot of teams facing these starters here, especially in the playoffs. That 1-2 punch is going to be something to look at. And but for tonight, I think our best bet would be to back Max Scherzer and the Mets in the first 5 innings. The Yankees bullpen has been pretty good, so don't want to leave it up to that. Scherzer's only been completing 6 innings or so this season, only completed 7 innings. Yeah, he has done that 4 times, completed 7 innings. But again, I'm looking more at a 6-inning outing here from Scherzer against the Yankees. And still 3 innings, leaving 3 innings up to the bullpen against this lineup is kind of scary. So looking at the Mets here, first 5, I'm laying the half run for them to be in the lead after 5 innings.
All right, El Nino's going run line here on the first 5 innings. So the run line on the first 5 innings, you have to lay a half run, and the returns to -125. So after 5 innings, the Mets have to be up. They have to. If it's a push, it's a losing ticket. So you've got to be up here by 1 or greater here with this one. And yeah, I mean, Herman is someone I thought was a lot better. Yeah, I went back and looked at some of his career numbers. I was like scratching my head. Was he really this bad? I mean, this is a pitcher with a career ERA of 4.63. Does have a pretty good whip. But what I was really struck the most here by Herman in his career, because remember, he's been battling injuries and he's been out here with shoulder issues as well, was his home run rate. I looked it up. I looked at the numbers up on this one. A career 1.70 home runs per 9 innings. My God, I didn't know he was that bad.
No, and you know what? Yeah, I get that same reaction. I got that reaction when I was looking at the numbers again right before getting on the show. It's again, I think obviously he's not as bad as the 15 ERA. Okay, but then you said you look at the career numbers. It's nothing. Well, of course, it is much better than the 15, but not great, nowhere near good numbers, actually. So, yeah, very concerning numbers out of him, and I did expect a lot more out of him, honestly. I thought he'd be much better than this, and, yeah, hasn't lived up to it so far, and well, he gets a chance to improve every day, I guess, but, yeah, long way to go to improve on these numbers.
Yeah, it looks that way here. El Nino's here on the Mets' first 5 innings, the run line, so lay the half run, up by at least 1 or greater after 5, -125 against the Yankees. This one will have a start time here, 7 Eastern time. El Nino's. Let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Prim. Still 5 games on the board for Major League Baseball. We have a game starting here in 15 minutes. What do you have going on over at the site?
I had a couple plays go off already, so down to my best bet here, and let me check something real quick. I do have an extra play still up there for everyone on the long-term passes. So as we always say, I mean, especially right now, Christmas in July, definitely your best way to go is grab one of those long-term passes.
That's right, guys. Get on board with El Nino's over at Pick Dogs at Premium. Of course, you can take advantage of this. Christmas in July has reduced his prices here on his 7-day pass, his 30-day pass. Of course, that 1-year all sports pass. We got that under that. We got to that $9.99 price point, $273 a day. When you do the math here, all of Al's premium plays here. That would include all the major sports that he handicaps: his MLB, his NFL, his college football, NBA. Of course, he's in action in college basketball, as well as NHL. He was a top units producer in NHL for last season, looking to rebound, and looking to do it again. He's been doing great work there in NHL because, man, we're not too far away from training camps, right? They start this in September, so they'll be back on the ice before you know it.
Yeah, the way the MLB's been going lately, can't be soon enough for the NHL to come back. Yeah.
Right.
But looking to turn things around in the MLB. So yeah, definitely got a ways to go there too.
Yeah.
I love it's still considered my sport. It's just been probably the ugliest, roughest run I can ever remember in baseball for me. So definitely looking to turn things around there.
Things around, of course, football around the corner here. NHL is not too far away. They hit the ice, I think, in exhibitions in September. So training camps as well. I know I'm getting all these emails from the Kings to buy tickets and schedules and whatnot. So it's not too far away, guys. So get on board here with Al Ninos over at Pick Dogs. Mardell is always great having your show. Let me get the right L up here. I'm always going to hit the wrong L every time you're on the segment. It never fails. I got it to this point, and then I screwed up at the end. All right, Al Ninos, as always, keep up the great work, and we'll talk with you again tomorrow.
And those Kings coming off a pretty good season too, so enjoy those emails and those tickets if you get them. But yeah, looking forward to that next NHL season. Have a good one, Tony.
You too. El Ninos here on the drive tour. Let's continue our coverage. Got a lot of people signing in right now, guys. If you missed any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap here at the end of the show. A lot of the conversation here in the chat room about Herman. I should have brought this up because we're getting 48 Pearl makes a point about Herman may have a short leash tonight, may not go deep in this game. That's possible. That is possible in this one. I should have thought about that. I should have brought that up to Al. But anyway, let's continue on here on the drive to time to bring in Rod Zawacky. The show you'll find him over at Pick Dogs, where he does great work up there. Let's bring in Rod right now. Oops, let me go back a little bit. I think we can get Rod Zawacky. There we go. Rod, what's happening?
Not too much. Enjoying the Wednesday so far. I'm going to come down to one game for me. We're left on the board. I went 1-1 in these day games. So
1-1 in the day games, so it'll go down. We'll see the rubber game, what it's going to be here. We'll see how it rolls. But we're going to look at this Orioles team, the team of the 2022. People love them. They've been covering winning games and playing above expectations. They're at home here against the Rays. The Rays road favorites -120, total of 8. Well, we could be dealing with some of that weather out there. Nope, there he goes. Right, you're back on, Rod. It'll be a little
lag. There we go. It's stormy here, so it's been hot, and then we're getting. Anyways, we'll quickly go with the Rays and the Orioles. We're over here. You look at the Baltimore Orioles. They're 6-3-1 in their last 10 to the over. Rays 6-4 to the over in their last 10. And you got Rasmussen getting the start for the Rays, and he's 3-3 with a 4.15 ERA on the road this season. And Wells getting the start for the Orioles, and he's 0-2 with a 6.75 ERA in his last 3 starts. He's been looking awful. And you look both bullpens. They've been averaging, giving up 3 runs, and those all equate to getting us well over the total in this one. So I like the over. You look at Rasmussen 4-0 to the over in his last 4 starts. Is 6-2 in their last. Orioles 5-1 to the over in their last 6 after scoring 5 runs or more in the previous game. And the Orioles are also 12-14 versus the AL East. I think we get enough runs to get us over the total in this one, as both pitchers are really awful. So take the over 8. I think we see lots of runs in this one, enough to get us over. As the over is also 5-1, I believe, the last 6 meetings. Take the over.
All right, we got Rod here on the over 8 here with the Rays and Orioles. Yeah, this Rays team, just a different team on the road. It's amazing here, night and day. We saw some ugly signs in Cincinnati, and it's been ugly here in this series for Tampa Bay. Although they have not gotten the bats going here, right? They've been held to what? Was it 2 runs in both of these games, if I'm not mistaken here? The Rays here have had some issues really getting runs on the board here. They're 6 games under 500. Of course, the Orioles 9 over 500 at home. They got to the big guy, right? They got to the big guy McClanahan last night.
They did get to McClanahan last night. Definitely got him on that one. I figured he was going to be solid, and nope. They got to him, and we just snuck over the total. Total was 7.5, I think, last night. So Rays got 3 runs last night. And just like you said, yeah, they've been awful on the road. They're 6 games below 500. Haven't scored as much, but I think we only need a few.
Yeah, they scored 4
and
runs total.
Been good, so I think the Rays can get 3 or 4 on Wells tonight, and I think Rasmussen 3 or 4.
Yeah, that's the thing here. That's right. They were held to 1 in the first game, so they've averaged 2 runs in this series each game. One thing here that I would consider here is the Orioles bullpen, how they perform well. But you look at their numbers at home this year with the Orioles bullpen, an ERA of 2.42. That ERA over 3 is impressive enough, but when you're in the AL East and you're at home producing these bullpen numbers, it's pretty impressive.
They were, and a lot of those numbers came early in the earth and give up some run recently for the Orioles. I remember we were looking at that, and at one point, I'm gonna say a couple of weeks ago, we were looking at that same Orioles bullpen, and they let us down, and we got rocked. So,
That's right. That
I'm
Texas
not
series.
falling for that again. Remember that? I thought they were going to be good and hold us down, and we were going to get an under. Yeah, no, there was no under. We got burnt. We took the over. So in this one, we're taking the over because that Orioles bullpen. I think some of those numbers are from earlier in the season, and they're definitely good for giving up 3.
All right, we got Rod here on the over 8 here, Rays and the Orioles. Who would have thought? Last year, looking at this Orioles team, that we'd be seeing totals in the 8 and 8 at home?
Right?
They said, is that the team total for the opponent? No, it's not. It's the total. It's the total in 2022 because it's with his Orioles team. All right, over the total is the play here from Rod in the Rays and Orioles, and this one will have a start time here of. And we'll get up there 7 Eastern time. All right, Rod, let's take a look over at Pick Dogs Premium. We put up some really great numbers here over the past 7 days. 470 units of profit over at Pick Dogs Premium. And I'm pretty sure most of it is baseball because NBA was over by June 28th. Also, we're putting some football numbers now. Christmas in July, college football. I think we're about a little more than 4 weeks away from week number 1. Those Friday games coming up here on Saturday. So we're not too far away here from the start of college football. Great work in baseball. We still have 5 games on the board here. 6 minutes start time from game 1 here on the nighttime card. What do you have going on over at Pick Dogs?
For me, over at Pick Dogs, I got 1 game left. Like I said, I had 2 games go off the board earlier. We won 1, lost 1. So 1-1. And the 1-1 I got left going for you guys tonight. My MLB bailout play of the night. Jump aboard it. Or, like we said, grab one of those Christmas in July packages. You can grab a week there, I believe, for $99 or what I got going. You can also get the rest of 2022, which will give you all of August, September, October, November, December. That's 5 months worth of all plays. To get the NHL plays, NBA plays, and NFL plays, college basketball plays, college football plays, all that. $550 gets you the rest of my 2022 season. Or like I said, we got the VIP year pass going. $900 gets you everything I going for the next year. I also got an NHL season pass. I got an NFL college football combo pass. Many different ways to jump aboard and make some money. So head on over to Dogs Premium and scoop up something long term. Well, it's Christmas in July before it's gone.
Yes, sir. Christmas in July, guys. Get aboard with Rod Zawacky over at Pick Dogs. See the numbers over the last 7 days have been impressive here. 470 units of profit. Also, a great college football season last year. Rod does have his MLB bailout of the night. Credit guarantee. Now, these one-off plays and these one-day passes are credit guarantee. What that means, if they do not win, the credit is inserted back into your account for more picks. So that's what credit guarantee means with this individual play and the one-day passes up there. The long-term passes are not a credit guarantee because they're sold at discounted price. So Rob's bailout play of the night here tonight up on Pick Dogs Premium. Also, as we mentioned, Christmas in July. The long-term passes reduced here from Rod Zawacky. But again, I just keep my eyes here on this 1 year all sports pass, which is usually $14.99, is down to $900. He's taken off $599 off that price. Over at that for his 1 year all sports pass. All of Rod's plays from, of course, NFL, college football, MLB, NBA, college hoops, NHL, even some CFL and UFC. Maybe some WNBA. Once in a while, maybe in action. If there's
once in a while,
yeah. Once in a while, you may see something.
You never know. You might find something that jumps off the board and at me.
Yeah, when the dream is getting plus double digits, right?
Right? You're going to give me 13 points with the dream? I'm in.
There you go. You may find some opportunities there in WNBA. So get on board there with Rod Zawacky. That 1 year all sports pass, $900, a really good value there. Includes all postseason as well. Of course, Rod's is in action in preseason football. That will be included as well. That's the best value right now over at Pick Dogs Premium. Take advantage of this Christmas in July here with Rod's 1 year all sports pass. Right, Rod, as always, great having you show. Continue that success, and we'll talk with you again on Friday.
Yeah, hey, you guys thanks for having me, and wish everybody a good night. Let's get ourselves another winner, and we'll see you guys on Friday.
See you on Friday. Rod Zawacky here on The Drive, too. Let's continue on our coverage. We're getting a lot of people signing in now. If you miss any of our picks, guys, we'll do a complete recap at the end of the show. Stay tuned for that one. No pick here on the 6:40 game on this Reds game against the Marlins. We did not have one there for you guys. So let's continue on here. Maybe Mitch has an opinion on it. It's about to start in just a little bit. Let's bring in Mitch if I'm over at Pick Dogs, where he does great work up there. Mitch, what's happening?
Not much, Tony. I'm glad that you clarified that credit guarantee for everybody. We changed the terminology on that from guaranteed picks to credit guarantee to kind of make it more so more people will understand it. The idea is never to deceive people or to make people think that guarantee means that we guarantee it's going to win. The guarantee was meant that if it doesn't win, you receive credit back for what you paid, for the pick. So we just came up with that term credit guarantee, which I think, one of my partners, Nathan, came up with that. And, we just thought that was a little more specific, and it was, hopefully helps people understand it a little better.
Exactly that. On the one day passes, the individual plays credit guarantee, not on the long-term bets because they're already sold at a discount. All right, Mitch. Yep.
If you heard Rod Zawacky, he wants to get the lights turned out here. $900 for a year. Brian figures this out. Brian actually takes out the calculator and figures out how much it costs a day. At $999, it's $2.73 a day. So if you get even a capper that gives out 3 picks a day like Brian, it's 90 cents a pick. But Rod can get a little aggressive in college football and NFL. You're talking 40 cents a pick. And like I said, I'm going to be out of business. It's all right. Oh, it's okay, man. I squirreled it away for a rainy day.
Rod's gonna turn you to solar. Yeah, you're gonna.
Yeah, it's gonna be wind powered.
That's our wind power pretty soon.
Take a propeller on the roof.
There you go. All right, so we've looked at this game, but Mitch is going to look at this one a little differently. Orioles here facing the Rays here at 7 Eastern time. With the Rays $1.20, total 8, but you'll be looking at a player prop here, Mitch.
Yeah, I just went to the betting tools. It was a thin card tonight, so I just, I figured that the rest of the guys had picks. Most of them were going to go before me on the show, so I just figured I would go to the betting tools, hit the player props, and I love the strikeout props. I think to me, those are the ones. I honestly believe that the home run props, yeah, you have certain scenarios that obviously lend itself and certain guys that, get hot and whatever. And, we hit home run props all the time and it's fun. We give them out all the time. We hit them a good amount, we hit a good amount of them. But the strikeout props seem to be where it's at, as far as really value. And when I looked at this prop, on the betting tools, what it was is that it wasn't necessarily that it comes in that much. Only it comes in at a 60% rate for Wells to go under 4.5 strikeouts, but the juice is only minus 115. So it basically, you got to let the data do the work for you. Basically, if a bet is 50-50, when you count normal VIG, it's minus 110, and that's under normal circumstances, it's minus 110. And so here at minus 115 for something that comes in 60% of the time, for that extra 10%, you're only paying a nickel. It's worth it. You can't buy a half a point for a nickel, so it's basically that's what it is. It just turns into a value play here. It's something that hits at 60% and the juice doesn't represent, the payout is better than it's something that hits at 60%. If something hits at 60%, you should be paying at least minus 130 on it.
All right, Mitch here with Wells under 4.5 strikeouts here against the Tampa Bay Rays. Yeah, we've talked about this Baltimore team, right? How great they've looked at. And, of course, the Rays on the road have not been very good. When you look at the numbers here, Tampa Bay's been one of the disappointing. We kind of saw that a little bit of that in Cincinnati, in that Cincinnati series, and it's been real disappointing for them.
Yeah, the Orioles have been really, the team this year. It's kind of, I think that the Orioles are kind of, their success is actually probably going to drive a lot of the action at the trade deadline, because I think other teams are looking at the way the Orioles are getting it done, and they're saying, well, the Cubs got it done this way. They did not get it done with free agency. The Rays have gotten it done like this forever. The Yankees even, went from within for the most part. I mean, they have a few free agents. They got Stanton and Cole, so they have a few guys they acquired through trade and free agency. But, for the most part, it's through the farm system. And I think, you start to look at the Angels, and Shohei Ohtani is due for a new contract next year. He's $50 million a year is what he's going to get, right? So it's you can't have it. You'll have $140 million in 3 players. They can't do it. So it's they'll probably go to the Oriole methodology. I don't know if Mike Trout also gets traded. be interesting to see. I could see Mike Trout to the Yankees.
Yeah, that could be no doubt about that. Of course, there's some of the pitchers out there being talked about. Of course, everyone's look at the Reds. Your Castillos, your Males are out there. Of course, some of your veteran pitch. I can't believe Corbin's still in a major league uniform. I think of Keuchel, and I see Corbin out there again today, and I was just like, wow, it's amazing that he's still out there.
We went over Corbin's salary this morning on the live show. $25 million this season, $35 million guaranteed money next year. And actually, that doesn't even include the deferred signing bonus. So it's actually 35,046,417. So it's like, I mean, that's just a lot of money for a guy that,
that's probably that sets up the trade with Juan Soto packaged in with Corbin. You're gonna have to take Corbin with you.
Well, which makes Ohtani that much more valuable as a trade. And I believe while everyone's been talking Soto trade, I think the Ohtani trade is going to be bigger, and I think it's going to be the Giants. It's just my guess. He's just a real perfect fit there. I mean, he's exactly what they need. They have the money, and I think he fits in with their community too and their fan base. So I think it's just they're in Seattle, but I don't think Seattle has the money to. Well, I guess they do. I mean, but. It's not what they normally do.
Yeah, they don't have.
It's not their normal thing.
Yeah, they don't win enough. The Giants have put together some pretty good teams.
Giants paid Cueto $25 million. No one said anything about it.
Yeah,
it's like, Evan Longoria makes big money there in San Francisco. It's like no one says anything about it. It's like they have money, and I wouldn't be surprised, to see and they're not afraid to deal 10 players. They've done it before. Remember the Hunter Pence trade?
Yes.
I mean, and they were out of it that year. I mean, they were out of it. They're like, well, we'll be good next year, and we'll be glad that we have him. So it's like I could see it.
What do you think about Heaney's start today? Heaney had some really good numbers early, comes in. Of course, but the Nationals got some hitters out there, and Heaney's, I guess, got this new pitch, one of these curve cutter type of pitches that he's worked on. And your thoughts here, Heaney on the Dodger uniform?
Well, I think that it was a favorable spot for him because, he got 6 runs of support in the first inning against, Patrick Corbin and, obviously, a Nationals team that's given up more runs than any team in baseball this year, including the Colorado Rockies, which is crazy, that any team would give up more runs than the Rockies. And I'm not saying the Rockies are a bad team or anything like that. I'm just saying they play at Coors Field and see if the White Sox can blow this game. They're doing their best.
They are. They are. No outs, 2 on, first and second, bottom of the 9th, 5-4 Sox. And this one just went final with the Arizona Diamondbacks coming in, getting the win here. Gallen was the starter there. And the Giants said this team has been on a slide.
Yeah, Kendall Graveman for the White Sox is just way overworked here. And, he's a really good pitcher, but you can't pitch him, every day. And that's what they've been doing.
It's funny you bring that up because this is the time of the year, Mitch, when you start looking at some of these overused bullpens. You're going to start hearing a lot of that here as we get into August, September.
Well, the White Sox are another team that's never really afraid to trade either at the deadline. And they actually have some talent to move. So I would expect them to make a move for a reliever. They've made moves for relievers in the last 3 years at the trade deadline. So why would this year be any different? As long as they don't trade to get Craig Kimbrell back.
Oh, no. That's what you worry about there. Of course, with these new wild cards, three wild cards now from each league in there with the division champions. Of course, the 2 buys here in the first round.
Yeah, 2 buys in the first round and then extra wild card. I think it does make it more interesting. And when we look at the races here, I don't love it that everybody makes the playoffs, but at this point, an extra team isn't going to hurt. I don't think. I think it's going to help. And, to see a team like the Orioles be relevant at this point. And, the Mariners solidly in, and they deserve it. They've played really, really well. And, not just giving it over to the, 3 American League East teams like a lot of people thought it was going to be.
Yeah, and of course, you're seeing that some of the young pitchers coming through here for the Seattle Mariners. Of course, the Yankees off to that nice lead. Of course, the Red Sox been the team that's been spinning backwards. And we'll see how this Blue Jays team with this managerial change playing a little better, but still got to see what they do on the road.
Yeah, the Red Sox, the issue there is they've never really had a true starting rotation this year. They don't have a number 1 or number 2 starter at all. So it's like when you don't have that, you don't have those guys that you can lean into. So, Chris Sale has started, 1 or 2 games so far this season for them. But outside of that, Nathan Eovaldi is your number one. There you have problems. There's what are you supposed to do? I mean, Cutter Crawford is going to be your savior. You can only go to the well on these things so many times. It might work for you here and there, but over the course of a 162 game season, you got to have a stopper.
Yeah, and that's been an issue there back when Eduardo Rodriguez was the ace.
Yeah, I think the Red Sox are a team that they have a decision to make as well. Are they going to go for it this year? And I think with their current management and ownership, I don't think they do. I think that they're resigned to say forget it. And I think you see, maybe the Astros are a team that quietly makes a big deal because they're another team not afraid to go after a real big gun to help them over the finish line. And, I don't know who's going to be available as far as big guns, but boy, we're hearing Soto and Ohtani. Ohtani's, I guess, is the big gun. I can't see the Angels trading him to the Astros.
No. That will not happen. There'll be a lot of young arms coming their way, which they need. They need. You thought with Noah Syndergaard and Ohtani things would happen there, right? It
was just a bust. You had Joe Madden, managing with Ohtani, and Rendon was healthy, and Mike Trout. Boy, you would have thought, Syndergaard coming in to shore up the rotation, kind of be the number one, Ohtani the 1A, and, you thought they were off to the races, and they were playing like that earlier this season. But
then Rodon got hurt. Once Rodon got hurt, here comes that 14-game losing streak and go by to Madden. So that one player goes out and then things go, and it goes rough again. It just shows the Angels really don't have a lot of depth here. They try to patch up their lineup with these superstars, but nothing around them. Yeah,
it's just too much salary in too few players, and even in a non-salary cap league, it can't be done. No. Either you got to go all in. What are they going to do? Build around Ohtani at this point? For next year when he goes free agent, and hope to build a team around him so he'll stick around. How could you possibly do that? You're going to have $500 million payroll, as the White Sox have now walked the bases loaded with nobody out.
You're a little ahead of me. Graveman's going to make that ball 4 pitch on a 3-2 down on a changeup, 89 mile per hour. So bases loaded here, no outs. Tough situation here. Hey, Mitch, what's happening over at Pick Dog and Sports Chat Place? A lot of the betting tools up there. What's going on?
We got our NFL picking contest on the way. You'll have a chance to win $100,000. Plus the Sports Chat Place Championship. We have all sorts of different weekly prizes that, we're going to have different sets of weekly prizes from everything from pick packages, complimentary pick packages and swag. I think some people, I'm still trying to figure out, what would people prefer, because the lawyers are telling me that I have to say what the prizes are going to be ahead of time because we have the big cash, out there. So there's a whole legal thing that you have to sign up, when you sign up for the contest, that you click the terms of service, and the White Sox found a way to lose this game.
Yes, they did. Base hit to right, 2-run score, and it's all it took.
Yeah, it's all it takes. First pitch. That's all it takes. But just pathetic. Anyways, with our contest, but we are going to have weekly prizes as well as that season prize, and then also the person that refers the winner gets $10,000 also on top of it. So, a bunch of guys get together, make sure that they're all kind of knotted together, that one guy is referred, a bunch of them are, they've all referred each other. And then, get 10 guys or 11 guys, and you split, you hit it, you win. Everyone gets $10,000 each, plus a good time in the contest. And probably if you hit that, you probably have won a few weeklies as well.
All right, guys. So check it out. Those contests coming up here, really good.
And I'll tell you that the format, like the actual, we've had other contests in the past, where you have to enter it on Twitter and all this other stuff like that. This contest is as good, if not better. It's better actually, because the same guys that build it for the big sites built ours. They're my partners, so they built this the contest. So it's basically you go in and it's like if you did it on DraftKings or something. It's gonna look like that. And it's like super cool. We'll be unveiling that we have a new sports chat. We've updated our logo to go with it and all kinds of stuff like that. And like I said, I think to me, the cash is cash, but the weekly prizes and some of the things that if you sweep the board, if you can sweep the board for a week, kind of like a little badge of honor that you'll, like a special shirt, that you're going to get, that you swept the board, and only people that swept the board will be able to, to get those. So it's like when you see those people at the sports book, it's like you'll know those are the guys, right?
The guys that did it.
Yeah, and not easy, that's for sure.
Not at all. All right, Mitch, great having you on, man. We'll keep an eye on the morning show with you, and we'll be looking forward to that big contest coming up for football.
Yep, next week I'll be on. We'll be a day away from NFL preseason. Of course, the preseason, the thing that we kind of all look forward to, and then when it's here, it's kind of like, it's preseason.
It's preseason football. I know that.
But there are some quarterback battles, and we'll be betting those teams heavily.
That's right. There'll be a lot of drama in quarterback battles, no doubt about that. All right, Mitch, have a great evening. We'll talk with you next week.
Thanks, Tony.
You got it. Mitch here on The Drive. So, guys, if you missed any of our picks, we'll do a complete recap here at the end of the show. So stay tuned for that. Let's get my game up here. We're going to be looking here. Blue Jays, Cardinals. We did talk about this game, but I'm going to look at this one a different way, and we're going to be going Gausman over 6.5 strikeouts here against the St. Louis Cardinals team with Gausman. Of course, I mentioned it earlier here when Chris came on the show and gave out the over. I really like Gausman here against this expected lineup here for the St. Louis Cardinals. We'll take a look at Gausman's numbers here. 18 starts, ERA 3, whip of 1.29, pitches 28% strikeouts. But this is a strikeout prop. So we're going to look at Gausman here against the St. Louis Cardinal lineup, and I'm going to tell you why I feel this is relevant with Gausman. The Cardinals' expected lineup is hitting only 156 against Gausman, just no home runs, only 1 RBI and 64 at bats. So why I think this is relevant is I do believe Gausman can go at least 7 innings in this game. The way he handles these batters for the St. Louis Cardinals, and also when you go back and look at Gausman's numbers here, I'm going to go back here and pull them up. How he's been able to average at least a strikeout per inning here in recent starts, and I think that's relevant here, especially in a game I believe he can go pretty deep in here against this Cardinals lineup without their big guns in the lineup, right? We're not going to have no Arnado. There's going to be no Goldschmidt in the lineup. And you got Gausman, who's coming off a pretty good outing here, last out against Boston, 10 strikeouts. Did have 6 against KC, 10 against Boston, but that against KC was 6 innings. So 5 innings, 10 strikeouts, 6 innings, 6 strikeouts, 2 innings, 3 strikeouts, 7 innings, 10 strikeouts, 6 innings, 7 strikeouts. So there you're seeing he's averaging sometimes a little more than 1 strikeout per inning. I think he can go deep in this game. The way he's been able to handle these Cardinals' expected lineup, as we mentioned, the Cardinals' expected lineup hitting only 156 against Gausman, no home runs, only 1 RBI and 64 at bats. So we're going to go here with the strikeout prop here with Kevin Gausman over 6.5 strikeouts. The return minus 110. All right, guys, check out Pick Dogs a premium right now. I do have a 3-pack right now. My play came in already. I had Arizona today, and that was a winner with my $15 premium. And what I have up right now, believe it or not, I've got action. I got a 3-pack in primetime. Yes, I found 3 games in primetime that made premium plays, and I like them very much. So get on board, guys, over at Pick Dogs with my 3-pack today over at Pick Dogs. Credit guarantee, which means if it doesn't show a profit, then the credit for what you paid for is put back into your account. So that's what credit guarantee is. I have a 3-pack right now over at Pick Dogs. Number 2 unit producer over at Pick Dogs Premium. Might be number 1 after that winner came in. I'll have to go and check out the odds because they're just going to grade that winner that came in. I had Arizona today to get the win because me and James Carr kind of nose there for the top position over at Pick Dogs in Major League Baseball. But you can get my 3-pack right now over at Pick Dogs Premium. Also, the Christmas in July, I reduced my 1-year all sports pass, $300, $9.99. Get my 1-year all sports pass, cover all my baseball, all the major sports, your NFL, your college football, your NBA, your college basketball, as well as your Major League Baseball as part of that 1-year all sports pass. So get signed up over at Pick Dogs Premium. Christmas in July, our best promo going on right now. All right, let's continue on here on the show. It is now time for our recap. So let's go ahead and recap the games from today's show. And we got to start here with Chris. Chris liked the Blue Jays Cardinals over 8. Al McMordie, Red Sox minus 130 against the Guardians. Al Ninos, Mets first 5 innings, the run line minus half run, minus 125 against the Yankees. Rod was on the Rays, Orioles over 8. We had Mitch on Tyler Wells under 4.5 strikeouts at minus 115 against the Rays. Yours truly was on Kevin Gausman over 6.5 strikeouts, minus 110 against the Cardinals. The one I like the most, let's see which one I like the most in this one. I think Al Ninos is onto something here with that first 5, which Scherzer on the hill. Laid the half run here against the Yankees. All right, that'll do it for this edition of the Drive-Thru, guys. Be sure to tune in again tomorrow live at 6 p.m. Eastern time. We'll do it all over again. We'll bring our cappers in from Pick Dogs and Sports Chat Place and give out live free picks for the games in prime time. Don't forget, it starts off every day, 10 a.m. Eastern time. It's the morning show. It's Mitch, it's Chris, it's Brian Bittler. It's also the video series. You got Mitch's seven picks in 5 minutes. Brian Bittler with his video series. He's got 2 of them. Take it to the Money in the Bank. Of course, it's Fast and Furious 5. Check that out as well. Ron Romanelli's Rundown, running down every game from Major League Baseball. Picks there for you, as well as Javon's Parlay of the Day is available to you as well. A lot of video series with a lot of picks now, and it's just not Mitch. Also, Chris and Mitch team up, tag team with the free picks for the overnight, getting those games up there for you guys for the next day's action. And of course, don't forget the MMA show, as we got Mills and Brand Francis together on Saturday at 1 p.m. Eastern time. They are live with UFC picks. Of course, there's a UFC card, pay-per-view card coming up on Saturday, so make sure you tune in that one. Best thing to do is just subscribe to the channel and set notifications. So when we're live with our shows, you can be live with us, so you can bet into the best numbers here on the Pick Dogs channel. All right, that'll do it for tonight's show, guys. We're going to bring in our cappers. We're going to wait goodbye to you guys. Have yourself a great evening. We'll talk to you guys again tomorrow live at